They made us sign NDAs. We weren't even allowed to talk to our own families about this stuff. But after 5 years behind those airport doors, watching the same game play out over and over again, I can't keep quiet anymore. What I'm about to tell you isn't just gossip, it's the kind of insider secret that could change the way you fly forever. You think airport security is about your safety? That it's all about protecting you from threats. That's only half the story. The other half, the one they never mention, is all about money. Yes, money. Every scanned bag, every confiscated item, every random screening. It's all part of a billion-dollar ecosystem that feeds off your fear and your ignorance. Let me start with something simple, those full-body scanners. You step in, raise your arms like a criminal, and wait for the beep. But did you know that half the time, what they're really scanning for isn't weapons or explosives, it's contraband electronics and unreported valuables. They're tracking high-value items, not because they'll stop you, but because they want to flag travelers who might be worth watching later. And here's where it gets creepier. Ever wonder why some people get randomly selected for additional screening every single time they fly? It's not random. There's a shadow list. Not the no-fly list, not the watch list. I'm talking about a profiling algorithm that scores passengers based on their behavior, their spending habits, even their online activity. I remember one passenger, a woman, mid-30s, looked completely normal. But her suitcase got flagged, not because of anything illegal. No, because she was carrying a high-end camera and over $8,000 in cash. The system flagged her as a potential courier. She missed her flight. No charges, no explanation. Just security concerns. This is just the beginning, and if you think that's bad, wait until I tell you about what's really happening with your checked luggage. You hand over your suitcase with a smile at the check-in counter, get your little barcode sticker, and assume it's headed to the belly of the plane. That's the fantasy they sell you. But here's the reality. Once your bag disappears behind that conveyor belt, it enters a surveillance zone more complicated than you can imagine, and one with a far darker purpose than simply getting your belongings to your destination. First, let's start with something they'll never admit. Your luggage is scanned for value, not safety. Yes, it goes through security, but there's a secondary system, an AI-driven pattern recognition network that looks for heat signatures of tech devices, lithium batteries, designer tags, anything that could suggest your bag contains high-value contents. Why? Because some handlers have deals with black market resellers. I'm not saying everyone's corrupt, but I am saying enough of them are that you should be very, very careful. I saw it with my own eyes. Bags rerouted to lost zones. A suitcase full of camera gear from Japan, gone. A bag flagged as containing a new MacBook and a luxury handbag, magically rerouted mid-transfer and never found. The airline offered compensation, of course just enough to avoid lawsuits. But nobody questioned the internal reroute logs. Why? Because most people don't know they exist. And here's the worst part, sometimes your bag doesn't just get lost. It gets intentionally delayed. Why? Surveillance. When a certain profile traveler checks in someone on a soft watch list, they'll delay your luggage by a day or two to give authorities time to inspect the contents off-site. No warrant, no notification, no trace. You think your AirTags will save you? Think again. I've seen handlers remove them the moment they detect a signal. They call it device neutralization, and yes, there's a departmental protocol for it. If your bag's been lost more than once, that wasn't bad luck. That was the system deciding you were interesting. This isn't paranoia, it's protocol. And in the next part, I'm going to tell you how your conversations at the airport, even the ones you think are private, might not be so private after all. You know those casual chats you have while waiting at the gate? The complaints you mutter on the phone to your partner about flight delays? Even that offhand joke about TSA taking forever? They're not as private as you think. Hidden in the ceiling tiles, embedded behind charging stations. Sometimes even inside those information kiosks you never use. Airports across the country have quietly installed directional microphones, ultra-sensitive devices that can isolate and record conversations from up to 25 feet away. They're paired with AI speech recognition software designed to pick up keywords, emotional tone, and even behavioral patterns. Now, before you scream conspiracy theory, let me tell you something. I've seen the system interface. I've seen a terminal where a screen flashes red when a passenger says words like detonate, weapon, Or even they'll never check me. Fair enough, right? Security. But here's what they don't tell you. It also flags things like corrupt, lawsuit, and even I hate this airline. Why? Because these aren't security flags. They're reputation flags. The system identifies passengers likely to post negative reviews, file complaints, or cause PR nightmares so airlines can preemptively manage them. I once watched a woman complain over the phone about her last flight experience while sipping coffee near gate 34, 10 minutes later. She was randomly selected for an extra security screening. Coincidence, you wish. And don't think stepping outside for a private call makes a difference. Airports use cell signal triangulation to map high-risk movement. Combine that with facial recognition and you've got a full personality profile built before you even step onto the plane. Now here's the kicker. This data doesn't just stay with TSA. It gets sold. Yes, sold. To marketing companies, insurance firms, and even private security contractors. Your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your choice of words, all compiled, cross-referenced, and traded like stock. So next time you're whispering to your friend that this airport is the worst ... Just remember, someone might be listening, not a person, a system. You're tired. You've just made it through security. You've got 30 minutes until boarding. So you walk into that cute little cafe near gate C17 and order a soy vanilla latte with a gluten-free muffin. You tap your card, grab your receipt, and think nothing of it. But behind that innocent transaction, you just told the airport exactly who you are. See, what most passengers don't know is that airport retail systems are part of an integrated passenger tracking network. Every tap, swipe, and purchase made inside the terminal is linked to your boarding pass, your payment method, and even your device ID all in real time. Let me break it down for you. That almond croissant. It wasn't just overpriced, it was tagged. The POS system point of sale logs not only your food preference but the time of day, purchase location, and your behavioral profile based on past flight history. Then it gets combined with your facial recognition data from earlier security scans. Now here's the freaky part. The system uses that data to calculate how likely you are to complain to staff, request compensation, panic during delays, or even violate customs rules. It's called a predictive traveler model, and you've been sorted into one of 6 behavioral buckets. If your profile says non-compliant risk, you might get that random additional screening. If it says VIP spender, you might get offered a seat upgrade at the gate. But it's not personal, it's algorithmic profiling. I once saw a guy buy a double espresso and an airport phone charger. 2 minutes later, a gate agent approached him with a smile and asked, "Sir, would you be interested in changing seats for better comfort? You think that's customer service?" It's A/B testing in the flesh. They're testing responses, gauging reactions, measuring patience, and all of it feeds back into the loop, training the AI to become more efficient, more subtle, and more invasive. And guess what? You agreed to it. The moment you tap accept all cookies on the airport Wi-Fi page, you consented to a data ecosystem that monitors your every move until takeoff. So the next time you're sipping your overpriced drink, scrolling through your phone, thinking you're invisible, just remember, the system already knows what kind of coffee you'll order next time, and what gate you'll probably be late to. By now, you might be thinking, okay, so they track purchases, watch me through cameras, even flag me with facial recognition. But it's all for safety, right? That's what they want you to believe. But what if I told you the real business of modern air travel isn't flights? It's data extraction. See, airlines and airports aren't just in the transportation game anymore. They're in the data economy. Every step you take through that terminal is a monetizable event. Your gate change, logged. Your bathroom visit, timestamped. Your browsing history on airport Wi-Fi, captured. Even your heartbeat and breathing patterns while walking through thermal sensors. Yes, monitored. You're not just going from point A to point B. You're feeding an invisible machine that trades convenience for surveillance. And here's the kicker. This data doesn't stay within airport walls. It's bought, sold, and shared. Marketing firms, insurance companies, government agencies. The same system that gets you on a plane faster is also the system that decides what kind of ads you see, what insurance rates you get, or whether your visa gets approved next time. One airline executive even joked during a private conference. Passengers think we move people. We actually move behavior. That's not sci-fi. That's real. That's now. So next time you're walking down the jet bridge, boarding pass in hand, earbuds in, thinking you're just another traveler in a crowd, just know you're part of the algorithm now. And hey, if this opened your eyes even a little, don't just scroll away. Watch our other exposes. Because the deeper you dig into this world, the clearer it becomes. The airport isn't just where your journey begins, it's where your privacy ends.